for only 20 emalangeni. Come on, do the most with Eswatini TV app. Download from Google Play Store or App Store. We're good together.
Everywhere you go, MTN. The DSTV app open window returns 8 to 9 October.
Diogo Jota. Jesus, fantastic goal.
Download and stream all your favorite sports channels. The DSTV app open window. Download the DSTV app now.
At Spar, we've checked every price, counted every coin, and cut every cost to bring you Spar's Super Saver Week. Get even more for your money, like Bakoma Wheat Bix for only $26.99 and Norok Stock Cubes 24s for just $17.99. It's Super Saver Week at Spar, 3 to 9 October only. Don't miss out. Exclusive to Spar Rewards customers.
Good evening, this is Eswatini TV News at 8. I am Natalie Sitole alongside Zamanzi Manze. First up, let's have a look at our top stories. The Prime Minister has encouraged learners to focus on their studies and says will in turn help them to shape their future despite their background and upbringing. The Minister of Finance says the country has set a target of decreasing the fiscal deficit from 4.6% to 1.5% next year. There will be a slight delay on the school feeding program for high schools, but the Ministry of Education is working around the clock to fix those challenges. The news. The Prime Minister, Cleopas Dlamini, says learners have the ability to shape their future and be what they want to be, despite their background and upbringing, only if they put their mind to education. The Prime Minister attended a farewell function for 3 retiring teachers at Balegani under Madlang MPC constituency.
The Prime Minister Cleopas Dlamini attended a retirement function of 3 teachers at Balegani Nazarene Primary School under the Madlang MPC constituency. The 3 teachers are Pindile Pato, Bettina Mavuso and Sarama Kakula. This is a school that the Prime Minister attended during his early days as a student at school. He was first taken through the head teacher's office where he signed the attendance, or rather the visitor's book. He then taught the school, starting with some of the classes where he also sat as a student during his early days. Some of the classrooms are no longer in a good state following that this is one of the oldest schools in the country. The floors and the walls are now cracking, amongst other challenges. He then proceeded to Balegane Clinic under the RFM hospital, where he was also taken through the operations of the clinic. In his speech, the Prime Minister thanked the retiring teachers for the role they have played in ensuring that every child fulfills their dreams. The Prime Minister says teachers should be applauded for the role they have played in the education sector.
One cannot overemphasize it. Bashito labantwana lapha ukuthi imfundo ngiyo lokuvulela emagede onke. Akukhathalelile usubuya kuphi. Akukhathalelekile ukuthi ekhaya kini banani. But if you go through your education, I cannot say you are guaranteed, but I say you have prepared yourself a chance for success.
Speaking on behalf of the retiring teachers was Pindile Pato, who said theirs was to mold the character of any child that was brought before them, and they have learned a lot over the years. The head teacher, Nhlanhla Shongwe, says this day was a bittersweet day for him.
I'm proud, Your Excellency, that even if I can lead you to their files in the office and peruse through, you won't find even a single text.
The Matlangambisi Member of Parliament, Sibusiso Scorpion Ngumalo, on behalf of the constituency, pledged 10 bags of cement for each of the 3 retiring teachers.
Ufike ka grade 1 kumnyama 2 uthi nawa standard 5 ubona sekubonakala embili ubona liphupho lapho nawo sobona songalithinza kubeke ngam Mr Speaker ngasifaka emotion with certificate of agency nensibotishela kufuna kube ngibo labahola kakhulu.
Palekane Nazarene Primary School is said to have been built around the year 1930. The Prime Minister then presented the 3 teachers with 3 laptops each amongst other gifts. They are retiring at a time where the world was celebrating World Teachers Day on the 5th of October this year. Reporting, I am Kian Msibit Smuvashongwe, Palekane.
The Ministry of Commerce has engaged its portfolio committee in the House of Assembly on the Citizens Economic Empowerment Bill and Liquor License Bill of 2021.
One of the intentions of the Citizens Economic Empowerment Bill of 2021 is to promote new investment and existing investment through partnerships between local and foreign investors in order to enhance economic transformation. The Minister of Commerce, Industry and Trade, Mangoba Kumalo, says the bill also intends to promote equal opportunities for citizen-owned companies in accessing and being awarded procurement contracts.
We have had feedback from stakeholders that we will be looking to incorporate into the bill as part of the process. It is our desire that before this parliament shuts down, this bill would have been passed in both houses of parliament. It is also to establish a Citizens Economic Empowerment Council that will provide guidelines and also ensure that this bill is implemented.
The chairperson of the Portfolio Committee in the House of Assembly for the Ministry of Commerce, Industry and Trade, Musangobo, mentions the input submitted by members of the committee. Amongst other things, the Citizens Economic Empowerment Bill states that the Council shall be appointed in office for a period not exceeding 3 years, while the function of the Council shall be to promote the empowerment of citizen-owned companies. Reporting for Eswatini TV News, I'm Thando Mdluli with Vumingosi Nzinisa, Ezulwini.
The Minister of Finance, Nuwerkenberg, says the country has set a target of decreasing the fiscal deficit from 4.6% to 1.5% next year. The minister has been speaking during the ALF-SZ and Ibanez Evolution in Daba on Thursday.
South Africa's leading investment company, Sanlam, opened a wing in the Kingdom of Eswatini in 2011, called Sanlam Investment Management Eswatini. On Thursday, the company hosted an evolution in Daba with stakeholders and officially unveiled Alpha Eswatini, also known as Alpha-SZ, as the company's new name. Speaking during the meeting, the Minister of Finance, Nuwerkenberg, said the country has set a target of reducing fiscal deficit from 4.6% to 1.5% next year.
But one of the biggest problems we've been having is a large fiscal deficit. Fiscal deficit obviously being the gap between what you spend and the money that you have as a country, and that being, it was in double digits at some stage, but averaging around 7.5%. Last year we managed to bring that down to 6.5%. The year we're in, 4.6. We'll see how the year ends. But next year we're still on track, and we're still aiming at a 1.5% fiscal deficit, which means that our country is on a sustainable path, because obviously we just have even just a marginal growth in your GDP.
Alpha-SZ Group CEO Thandile Ngumalo said the company has grown and currently stands at 2.7 billion emalangeni in assets.
We've grown. In 2011, when we opened that door, we had 0 assets. Today, we have 2.7 billion under management.
The company says they aim at broadening local shareholder base in 5 years. Reporting for Eswatini TV News, I am Samkal Suekoza with Sikumbuzo Dlamini, Ezulwini.
The Minister of Labour and Social Security, Philip Telezi, says the 200 million Emalangeni supplementary funding will go a long way in addressing the current 241 million deficit in the scholarship program. The minister has been speaking during an engagement with the Parliamentary Portfolio Committee on Thursday.
The Ministry of Labour and Social Security hosted an engagement with the Parliamentary Portfolio Committee at the House of Assembly on matters including the scholarship program, and the committee also met for the first time the new CIMAC Board of Directors. Students Loans Manager at the Ministry of Labour, Setu Bembe, presented for the committee that currently there is a 241 million Malangan deficit in the scholarship program. Members of the committee then forwarded their supplementary questions.
Engabe hulumende nyalo nalamaswati labantwana labasele ku scholarship kukhona la taba latendako kuthi asitakale nawo kulesimo
ngaba kubuta indzaba yebantwana ba DPM kwekuthi nasa abafundzisile up to lo form 5 lukhona enihlelo lokubekuse luyabasita labantwana nabangatholi scholarship noma ke kuba prioritizer labo labaphase kahle labadeserve ukuthola scholarship ukuthi phela bafundziseke.
Sibona inombolo debantwana laba apply la scholarship setulu kodwa uthole ukuthi uhulumende uthatha inombolo letincane ukuthi ngabe laba labanye bese babheka kuphi.
When responding to the question asked by the committee, the Minister of Labour and Social Security, Philip Telezi, said the 200 million Malangeni supplementary funding will go a long way in addressing the deficit issue.
Sikhanze lo mkhumbi bewuncwila vele bekukubi kakhulu bahlonishwa. Nasithi nje ku budget besina 361 million against ama obligations langetulo kwa 700 million for this financial year. Uyabona lo lesikhebe besisikhulu kakhulu. Kulo 241 million nje neseniphile 200 besithembiseke ukuthi ngaDecember ku supplementary ya December will get another 41 ku cover lesikhebesi bese lo 78 million wale intake walo 2550 wabantwana vele akekho kule budget le uyo provide la ku budget yeminyaka lodako sitawubuka nje usidoja bani sinika bani kubalansisa sizama kulungisa lo mkhuhlane lo mkhulu lokhona ukuthi every month kuyatelekwa.
The ministry also collects 55 million emalangeni per year from former scholarship beneficiaries. Reporting for Eswatini TV News, I am Samkalsiwe Koza with Sikumbuzo Dlamini, Eswatini.
The Minister of Labour and Social Security, Philip Telezi, has asked the new CIMAC Board of Directors to support the Executive Director to improve service delivery of the organisation. The Minister has been speaking during a meeting with the Board and the Ministry's Portfolio Committee on Thursday.
On Thursday, when the Minister of Labour and Social Security engaged with the Ministry's Portfolio Committee at the House of Assembly on matters touching on the scholarship program and the CIMAC, which was also an event for the new CIMAC Board of Directors to meet the Portfolio Committee. CIMAC presented for the committee challenges faced that are affecting quality service delivery. The Minister of Labour and Social Security, Philip Telezi, asked for collaboration between the new board and the Executive Director.
Board idina yemusha ematubana ke mane ngakhulu na senda tindo nje uvunga sinyalo ngasenda lokho kusasa senda lokho nini senda lokho so tahla donzwa ngene ngelijoba kusibuya asibambe kanje kuze alunge simakhe ufuna kusebenta ide mbambiseni to turn the organization into one le standing lesihle ku society.
Members of the committee then posed their follow-up questions.
Kuye kwentiwe yini lokuthi kube nalama delays ekutekene amacala lekini simakhe ngoba kuyabonakala ukuthi imali umbuso uyadikhipha
le decentralization mase kunalama cases labuyale I would say kuma regions treatwa nge-priority noma nge-severity.
Sekungaba issue ye staff turnover kwekuthi ngabe nikubukile yini ukuthi kubangelwa yini lokuhamba kwetisebenzi lekubo 2017 probably kuyakubo 2020
Nginale concern ke kakhulu la kuma values bo integrity ngoba at times ufica ukuthi bantu noma emaswati aphuma kaSimak are dejected ngoba abakalitholi leli sito leli fanele.
Simak Executive Director Lomkhosi Makagula responded to the questions.
Simak kumgcoka tinkundleni nako konke vele sisho nacala ngisimanje going to inkundleni ihambelana nemali ukuthi siservice kanjani lama. We may need to do technology first. Ma values make wabekile amgcoka sida kulungisa logo.
Simak is expected to submit before the portfolio committee written responses. Reporting for Eswatini TV News, I'm Samgal Suekoza with Sikumbuzo Dlamini, Ezulwini.
The Principal Secretary in the Ministry of Education, Begi Gama, says there will be a slight delay on the school feeding program for high schools, but they are working around the clock to fix those challenges. Gama says they understand that some learners get their first and last meal at school, thus it is important for them to eat.
The Principal Secretary in the Ministry of Education, Peggy Gama, says there will be a slight delay in the food distribution program for high schools due to challenges they are currently facing in the ministry. Gama says for primary schools, all is in order.
The ministry is acutely aware of the fact that some learners only have meals in schools. So we have distributed food to almost all primary schools, and we are sure that food, we haven't had any complaints so far. We had a minor challenge in a distribution of mainly beans in the high schools, but we are now on track and everything's okay. As they write their examinations, we want to assure that food will be available.
They are aware of some changes faced by learners in schools, and they're doing all in their ability to assist where they can. Reporting IMKN Msibi with Smova Shongwe, Palegane.
Ministry of Agriculture Director Agriculture Nelson Mavuso encourages the Maswati to shift to conservation agriculture amid fertilizer shortages in the whole world. Mavuso said this when a fertilizer stakeholders delegation from the Southern African Development Community visited Mojane.
A delegation from the Southern African Development Community is trying to come up with solutions in the fertilizer shortage that have hit the region. The delegation visited Mojane Primary School and farmers under Mojane constituency who are into conservation agriculture with an intention to look if the region can fully explore this type of farming. Director Agriculture in the Ministry of Agriculture, Nelson Mavuso, says the delegation wanted to learn more about conservation agriculture. He also urges the Maswati that they should also practice this kind of agriculture, which includes organic farming.
Sivakashele esikolo saseMojane Primary School lapho besibuka khona ukuthi bantwana bangalima nabo basebenzisa indlela yokonga bangafaki bomanyolo besilumbi basebenzisa imicuba baphindze bafuye netilwane balime netibhidvo bese ke sivakashela ke nebalimi labakhona labalandzaweni nabo labasebenzisa iorganic farming.
A Mojane farmer who is practicing conservation agriculture, Sibusiso Shongwe, says he has been practicing this kind of farming for some time now. Shongwe says there are a lot of markets available for conservation agriculture products.
Ngikubonile kungisidila ngoba akusikwekucala ngulima sengike ngavuna ngathengisa futhi imakethe ngiko leba kuthakasela kakhulu.
On the ongoing consultation meeting among the South African fertilizer stakeholders, they are expected to come up with solutions and recommendations that will ease the scramble of fertilizers in the world. For Eswatini TV News, Fortune Dlangamandla. Visual source from the Ministry of Agriculture Communications Department.
Eswatini Electricity Company continues with dredging of Mkinkomo desilting to improve power generation for Edwaleni and Makutuza power stations. EEC Managing Director Ernest Mkonda says the whole exercise will cost 39.5 million emalangeni.
Kinkomo is located on the Lake Usutu River in Matsapa. The desilting is expected to take 18 months and it started 6 months ago. During the media tour of Kinkomo desilting, Eswatini Electricity Company Managing Director Ernest Mkonda mentioned that the contractor is expected to remove 500,000 cubic meters of silt from the Mkikomo to improve its holding capacity from what present is. Mkhonta says over the years, the dam has been accumulating silt to the point that its capacity has been reduced by approximately 70%.
Lokukhulu lesitakuzuza ngiloko ukuthi sitawukhona kuphindze futhi siphehle gezi ngaleti ngwedle la edwaleni namaguduza ngalesi khathi lesifanele futhi ke sitawukwati ukuthi silulalule ngoba phela emanti atabese kamanengi lesiwabambile la kuleli damu lasemkinkomo kanzi nangabe sinaloludzaka maba mancane lamanti lokho ke kuye bese kwehlisa ke lelizinga lethu lekuphehla gezi la kulesigwedlo lesi kumcoka ke lokho ukuthi gezi sikwati lokuthi phehlela njengoba nibona ukuthi kukhona ingqinamba letikhona ku region ngoba gezi lomnengi simthola ku region.
The electricity company and contractor Stephen Stokes promised that the exercise will be environment friendly. Even aquatic animals will not be affected. For Eswatini TV News, Fortune Hlangamandla, Mkinkomo Matsapa.
And now we'll have a look at our financial markets.
It can be.
Moving on, we'll have a look at our sports news. Zambian under-20 national team head coach Oswald Mutapa says their dominance in the under-20 COSAFA tournament will play a key role in motivating the team as they begin their campaign in this year's COSAFA under-20 tournament against Mauritius on Friday. We have a report.
Zambian under-20 national team that is in Group A alongside Eswatini, Botswana, Mauritius are the most decorated national team in the COSAFA under-20, having won the regional showpiece on 11 occasions. The team that is in hard preparations for this year's edition is led by coach Oswald Mutapa, who believes history is likely to work on their side as they look to begin their campaign in this year's tournament.
It has been a safe passage, and again we had the privilege for this morning to have our first session. So far so good. We don't have any injuries in the team. The team looks sharp. The response is overwhelming from the boys, and they are looking forward for the game on Friday. The boys, as a technical bench, we have been reminding the reason why we are here. We know that the competition is not going to be easy, but we need to prepare, we need to be ready and be able to fight. We are here not only to participate, but to compete. And I think so far so good. Good see into training, the competition, everyone is putting in 100+%. And the boys are really showing a lot of positives into training.
Zambia last won the tournament in 2019 when beating South Africa 3-0 in the finals. Their first game is on Friday against Mauritius at Somplo National Stadium. For Eswatini TV Sports, Fabrice Msonera, pictures sourced from COSAFA.
Secretary General of Eswatini Paralympics Committee Nozipho Mahlalela says the committee is working hand in hand with different sporting codes to look at ways of introducing more sporting codes for people living with disabilities. Mahlalela says at the moment active sportings are wheelchair basketball, wheelchair tennis and sitting volleyball.
Eswatini Paralympics Committee continue with different programs to sensitize the games of people living with disabilities. The committee's Secretary General Nozipho Mahlalela says this will help in having more different sporting codes with people living with disabilities.
Committee is currently working in collaboration with Cheshire Homes to host a disability sports training that is targeting sports associations in the country. This is just to sensitize the different associations of what Paralympic sport is really about and what is expected from them in terms of servicing the peoples living with disabilities in the country. It's also pleasing to announce that 4 Eswatis have been selected to be part of the IPC regional sports event that will be held in Lilongwe, Malawi on the 28th to 30th of November.
The committee already has association operating, which are wheelchair basketball, wheelchair tennis, sitting volleyball, and many more. For Eswatini TV Sports, Fabrice Msonera, Mbabane.
Sihlang Semnigati have been ranked 143rd in the latest FIFA rankings released by the football governing body FIFA. The rankings mean that Sihlang have moved a place up compared to the recent rankings where they were 144th. Under women's rankings, Sitebe Samtlekazi are now ranked 171, which means they have dropped 4 places following rankings last released in July where they were number 167. Brazil still tops the rankings at the moment. The first African country is Senegal, which is ranked 18th in the world, while under the SADC region, South Africa tops the ranks as they are ranked 67th in the world. That's all for now. Before we go, let's have a look at our top stories.
The Prime Minister has encouraged learners to focus on their studies and says will in turn help them to shape their future despite their background and upbringing. The Minister of Finance says the country has set a target of decreasing the fiscal deficit from 4.6% to 1.5% next year. There will be a slight delay on the school feeding program for high schools, but the Ministry of Education is working around the clock to fix those challenges.
And with that, we sum up our bulletin for the evening. Up next is the weather update from myself and the team. As always, thank you for your company. Good night.
Lifestyle is about attitude, values, interests, and behaviors. And this is Eswatini Lifestyle, the show that shares stories of incredible people, events, businesses, and taste that are meant to inspire Eswatini.
People beautiful. Eswatini Lifestyle is Eswatini's premium lifestyle magazine show. We aspire to.
At Spa, we've checked every price, counted every coin, and cut every cost